As we pointed out in the introduction, the operation, you're responsible as the architect of the Capitol for the maintenance and preservation of the building, but it's not just that building, it's the entire complex, which includes the Library of Congress, the power plant, Supreme Court, the other buildings of the Library of Congress, the Botanic Garden, and that's an incredible amount of responsibility. How did you go about administering your office with all of that responsibility on your shoulders?
Well, I had a lot of help, and of course, the people that were there were very competent, and those that I hired as time went on, I tried to find the best that I could. I've tried to find people who knew more than I did about anything. And fortunately, that worked out well. And it was a major management problem. And that's why some people have said you don't need an architect, you need a manager. Well, you need both. You need an architect because we're dealing with architecture. And we're dealing with the restoration of buildings that represent, through architecture, symbolism of the United States. And so it needs to be an architect, but it needs to be a manager-type architect, which was, I didn't realize it at the time, but my desire to go to the Harvard Business School was indicative of my own leaning in that direction. And that's what made it work. It's not only the scope of different things, as you said, that the architect is responsible for, but it's the size of the organization. At one point, I don't know what it is now because I've been gone for a number of years, but at one point we had over 2,000 employees.
Just in the under the jurisdiction
just in the architect's office. Now most people think of an architect's office as a half a dozen or a dozen or maybe 25 or so people. So it's not I had that many people in the design aspect of it. So the whole secret, if there is one, is to hire competent people to do the things that need to be done. I used to hire a lot of consultants. The Congress was very understanding of that and provided the funds. Because without the funds, you can't do anything. And in some ways, I was lucky in that things worked out well. As a friend of mine used to say, you'd rather be lucky than smart. So I had a little of each, I suppose.